I'm Josh Liston from On the Bubble podcast, an oral history of television fandom, part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other awesome geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 351 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Sunday, Mario Day 2019. It's Mario Day, guys. March 10th, Mario.
I was going to do the joke.
Is it bad that last week or 2 weeks ago when I bought my milk, I could have bought milk that expired on March 12th, but I took the milk that expired on March 10th just because I wanted my milk to say Mario?
That is bad.
Yeah.
But why?
I drank
why
almost all of it. I'll finish. March 10th.
I mean, about
MIR10. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, March 10th.
about to say it's just the sell by date, not the date it goes bad.
Well, that's true. And they are also doing some pretty cool sales today on Mario games, I saw. Like, all the Mario games on Switch are $20 off if you buy them digitally, it looked like. And it might have just been a Best Buy thing. I'm not sure. But hey, it's Mario Day, so go play some Mario games after you're done listening to the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast.
I doubt it.
You can't make me.
You're not going to play any Mario games, Willie?
I doubt it. I think the only ones I have is Mario Kart. I guess that's considered
That's
a Mario
considered a
game.
Mario game.
Smash Brothers.
That's kind of not really, but close enough. I mean,
Mario Party.
Mario Party is included as part of their sale. I think it was Mario Party, the new Super Mario Brothers game that came out, Odyssey, Kart.
Willie, two of the games you
Tennis
mentioned have
Aces.
Mario in the name. How would they not be Mario games?
But when you think a Mario game, you think a platformer.
No, I think anything with Mario in it.
Chris, you're the sensible one. You think platformer, right?
So when you're thinking a straight up Mario game, generally you tend to think platformer. Yes, that is captured in that category. Now there are games about Mario and whatnot that are outside that platformer role. But when you're talking gaming and someone says a Mario game, they generally don't think Mario Kart first. They think like Super Mario World or Mario 2 or things like that.
I always
I'm
think
sorry,
Mario
these are-
Kart first.
I'm sorry, these are other types of games that have a Mario skin in it. Excuse
A
me.
Mario skin. Wow, those are strong words. I mean,
You sir are
Leatherface.
ridiculous.
Leatherface really dropped his standards.
Now he's wearing Italian plumbers. That's his version of an Italian suit.
the thing
He's
that's
an equal opportunist.
The thing that's always confused me about Mario is that his last name is Mario. So if you're Luigi and you're his brother, your full name is Luigi Mario. And
Now,
your brother
is that-
is Mario Mario.
Is that just from the movie, or is that actually from Nintendo before the movie came
I
out?
don't know.
Who cares? John Leguizamo said it, and it's canon.
I mean,
think
I'm
it's
a little
canon.
curious.
I mean, we could do some Google searching, but that requires me to care more than I do.
No. You know
No.
what I hope it is? I hope it was just one of them just ad-libbing, and it got put into the movie, and it got put into canon.
Well, it wouldn't
That would
be
be
one of
hilarious.
them because only John Leguizamo said it.
You know what? You're a bastard.
I think you hurt his feelings there.
Dennis Hopper could ad lib all he want. He didn't say the line about the three Marios, so it can't be one of them. There was only one actor that said that line.
Well, technically, when he asked for a last name, didn't Bob Hoskins say Mario first?
We're putting a lot of thought and effort into
Maybe.
a very shitty movie right
Yeah.
now.
Well, no, I'm just trying to defend myself since I'm getting attacked first thing in the morning.
I didn't attack no
Well,
one.
fuck you. It's 8 o'clock. Leave me alone.
I didn't say anything about it.
I love that movie. It's so good, bad.
No, it's not good bad. It's just straight bad. There's
No,
barely
it's good
anything
bad.
redeeming about that movie.
Was she corpulent? Very corpulent? Nah, she's just like round.
It's so bad.
And what I like about mud, it's clean and dirty all at the same time.
Damn it, no.
That's right. We'll quote Mario Brothers on your ass.
You called this down. Who started off the Mario Day bullshit?
I didn't expect to talk about the shitty ass movie. There's so much good Mario content out there.
That's if you like platformers. I will have an occasion I do go through a platformer phase, and I'll be like, ooh, Mario. Now is not the time. especially now on Mario Day.
No. Don't go Mario. What the hell? You're one of those Super Mario Brothers? Come on. No.
No, he's not.
I'm from North Carolina. Of course, I'm not one of those Mario brothers.
He's not allowed to be a pretentious prick.
Well, it's just like the same people that go rough when they're talking about the thing on top of your house, the rough.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's all sorts of regional things. Like, do you call it a creek or a crick?
Creek.
Who called
crick? What?
It's a crick.
What?
It's an Appalachian phrase.
What? North Carolina. What?
He's a different type of hillbilly than you, Willie.
Yeah,
Let's get over
we're
it.
different hillbillies. It's a crick.
Hey, I'll throw down over the creek over there, boys.
A crick in the holla.
Yeah, we have creeks out here.
Yeah, creek. There's
don't have
two
creek.
E's. Eek. Eek. You don't see someone get eat like, or it was real monsters. God damn it, I was gonna say.
You were thinking of
Real
Eek the cat, I think.
Well, there you go. No, it's. How'd you fucking pronounce it? I don't even fucking know. It's so fucking stupid. It blah, blah, blah. You know what? Let's just stop this right now, Chris. It's just like
you wanna
when
stop
people
it?
It's just like when people.
You shall not pass!
I get
just
one. I
like-
get one.
It's just like when people argue about, is it called soda or is it called pop?
It's called soda.
Depends where you're from. But if you refer to all of it as Coke, you're an idiot.
That's what I was gonna get at. But we can all fucking agree those assholes that call every soda Coke are fucking assholes.
Or the other thing, if you're one of those people that throw a friggin' temper tantrum because you go somewhere that has Pepsi and you want Coke and you get all pissed off and yell at the waiter, I'm like, what the hell is your problem? They don't
prefer
control
Pepsi,
the soda selection.
Yeah, yelling at the waiter is not okay. But
Born
I
in
don't know.
the Carolinas, Pepsi for life.
When you ask for Coke and they say, is Pepsi okay? I like the people that say, is Monopoly money okay? Because it looks the same, but it's not the same.
But
And I
I'm
will
okay
also-
with it if someone's just trying to make like a dad joke about it versus the people that are actually semi-serious because they're mad about
Yeah.
the fact it's a different soda choice. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. Fuck you.
Do you guys have any Coke? No, just Pepsi. I never heard of that drug before.
Hey-o.
No, but I do want to give a shout
you
out
can snort
to
anything if you try hard enough.
I do want to give a shout out to a local soda. I think they're starting to expand out, but Cheerwine. Cheerwine.
You've talked about Cheerwine on here before. I have never had Cheerwine before.
But have you heard of it other
Only
than me?
because you told me about it.
Well, I said other than me.
Oh, well, no, then I have not. It is not a thing here in West Virginia.
It's not taste like wine. I don't know why it's called Cheerwine. It's cherry kind of flavored. It's delicious.
I've never heard of it other than when you've talked about it, I'll be honest.
You're welcome.
Well, all you've really done is get me interested in something I can't have, so screw you.
I'll send you some.
So it'll get all skunked in the mail? I see how it
Actually,
is.
they actually did something weird one time when they had Krispy Kreme Cheerwine. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
So
I had to
donut
try-
flavored soda?
It tasted like a Cheerwine flavored donut, and it was weird, and it's delicious, and I was like, oh my god, I got diabetes.
Diabetes?
It sounds like some diabetes.
But it was so good. I mean, you couldn't have it a lot. It was just like, okay, I like where you're going with this. It was rich. This is what I'm getting at.
That's
Unlike me.
That's what I'm taking from it. I don't know what he's smiling about right now on video. He gave me a weird look and I'm confused.
I can't just be happy.
Well,
Nope.
you can, but I'm a doubter of good things, so I'm like,
I felt like I said something funny. That's all. I mean,
someone has to.
yeah, exactly.
That's not true. We don't have to be funny. They can't
I
make
meant
us.
someone has to feel like they said something funny.
Yeah, that's myself. Me, myself,
Maybe.
and Irene.
Oh,
That's
don't reference that movie. It's bad too.
Whoa, that movie was great, and I'm still pissed off they didn't make a spin-off movie with his three sons like they were going to.
No.
Anthony Anderson needs more work. God damn it!
Isn't he still on Law and Order?
I didn't even know he was on it. I never watched that shit.
Well, I mean, it's a hell of a paycheck if you are on that show.
I will agree.
Mhm.
I never watched it, so I don't know who the hell's on it. But Anthony Anderson is a fucking national treasure, just like Nicolas Cage.
I have nothing against Nicolas Cage. I will not cast aspersions upon him.
In fact, I'm going to start change.org right now that we need to change our national anthem from that shitty song to just a picture of Nicolas Cage getting off the bus in Con Air with the wind blowing. That needs to be our national anthem.
But
You want the national anthem to be a picture.
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
A GIF to see the hair.
You're an idiot.
Like a little
You're an
tweet.
idiot. You're an idiot.
And I'm not wrong either.
But you're not right.
You are wrong, and Greg Proops has it correct. When he's in charge, the national anthem will be whatever Aretha Franklin song we want that day, which is what should be our national anthem. Just a random Aretha Franklin song, any given event, any given day.
I'm going to have to disagree.
You
with
say
that.
something bad about Aretha Franklin, we're going to fight.
I just don't know much of Aretha Franklin. Respect.
You don't need to know much. That's all you need to know.
And I don't.
All right, Chris, we better move on. Or I'm going to have to fight Willie.
But just because I don't. I'm not saying I hate Aretha Franklin. I'm just saying I don't really want that to be the national. Any song.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
No well done transitions this week. I'm just trying to stop a fist fight. Although I'm not really sure how a fist fight would work across the internet.
Oh, don't bring up that movie. That movie was. Should have been
What the
better.
hell movie
Than
are you even talking about?
Fist Fight with Charlie Day and Ice-T.
Was it called Fist Fight or was it just fight? I don't remember.
Well, it was called hashtag teacher fight all the way up until they put it in theaters. And then they fucking changed it and ruined it. Because even in the movie, the kids are talking about hashtag teacher fight.
That's not what ruined that movie. Was just
I'm saying-
I was gonna say
No,
that movie looked pretty shitty.
it could have had actual like social reach on social media if they had kept the name correct. But then they changed it and made it much, much worse.
I was disappointed in that movie. I was going into it thinking it was going to be good, but then I was just like,
I thought it was
really?
at least going to be funny. It
Yeah,
wasn't even really
exactly.
funny.
Yeah, so
know.
you know what else
Charlie
isn't
Day
funny?
could've
It's the news of the week where we talk about cool, geeky, and nerdy news that generally
don't-
isn't funny.
Don't bring this.
Sometimes.
You mentioned fist fight, so don't throw this at me like it's my fault.
Did I throw it at you like it was your fault?
You threw
Willie,
a fist fight in my face.
It's your fault.
It usually is.
I mean, this is fairly accurate. Yeah, so news of the week, like I was saying, this is where we run down what is some of the more interesting geeky and or nerdy news that's been going on. Share it with you guys. Maybe you haven't heard it before. I will kick things off because, hey, let's talk about Pokemon Go some more. I'm the only one left on the show that plays. I've been having fun with it. Willie hates the game now, I think.
Jesus, apparently. Either that or he just shit himself.
Could be
When are they
both.
going to release a good Pokemon game?
Well, Pokemon Sword and Shield comes out sometime this fall. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that. Finally, a console, in quotes, Pokemon game.
You can pre-order it now on Amazon, actually, and it's like $54 for a pre-order right now.
Whoa. Have we not learned our lesson? You don't pre-order before you see really anything
It's a
of it.
Nintendo game. Yes, I do. I've learned my lesson.
You don't pre-order anything from Amazon.
When's the last Nintendo first-party game or Nintendo licensed Pokemon game that has disappointed me?
I can't answer that for you, Chris.
Okay, put yourself in my shoes, and if you were me, what would your answer be to that of recent Nintendo games? There isn't one.
What size shoes do you wear?
I wear size 12 or 13, depending on the brand.
I couldn't fit. I got size 14.
Ooh.
We're both big goofy
So
bastards.
put yourself in my metaphorical shoes, then.
Ooh, okay. What size are your metaphorical shoes?
God damn it.
They're
27. They're 27,
slippers,
so
so
everyone
there's
can
room in the
fit their
back.
feet.
Ooh, sorry. My metaphorical shoes are 56.
I hate you so much right now.
Even his imaginary feet are bigger.
Wait till you hear the size of my imaginary dick.
That's
1.3 inches. Around.
Still a tuna can.
But regardless, you can pre-order those now. But let's talk about Pokemon Go for a second there. Niantic is trying to find ways to give trainers more chances to perform raids, and what they're trying to do this next week with a pilot is what they're calling Legendary Lunch Hour. From 12 to 1 p.m. in your local time zone, there will then be an increased number of raids to test your battle skills alongside your friends, co-workers, and classmates, they said on their website. The first of these events will kick off on Wednesday, March 13th. Basically, the intent here is to bring an increased number of raids during the event hour to Pokemon Go and get more people interested or back to being interested in playing the game. I like the fact they're trying something new, similar to what Suncast just said in the chat room. I don't think it's a great idea because most of the people I know don't really have the time on their lunch to go run out and play Pokemon Go. I know I certainly can't because the nearest Pokestop or gym is like 15 minutes from where I work, so it wouldn't really work for me. But if you worked in like a big city or a downtown area somewhere, that would be a pretty interesting way to spend your lunch. At the very least, if you go out to grab a coffee or something for lunch, you have a chance to potentially hit a raid along the way. It's interesting. Like I said, I don't think this is a world-beating idea, but I think it's good that they're throwing ideas out like this to try and get people more interested in the game again and keeping things going and moving forward. So who knows what other great ideas they'll have, or other ideas rather they'll have and try and do. So Willie, you're our Pokemon expert on the show. How do you feel about this?
I'm the Pokemon expert.
I
think it's shit. It's something they should have had a year ago.
Yeah, it probably would have been something good to have a year ago. I mean, I know, for instance, if you were someone who worked in downtown Morgantown here, this would be awesome because our downtown, where the students are, where a bunch of restaurants and stuff are, there's probably 20 gyms, and let alone Pokestops down there too. It's ridiculous between different campus buildings and different restaurants and stuff. So there's plenty of opportunities for doing some of these lunchtime raids. And if you work downtown, it'd work out perfectly. But if you're someone like me who works an office job removed from the Pokemon world, it doesn't really work out. You go, I guess that'd be kind of nice if I had time to go drive into town to do it.
Removed from the Pokemon world.
Yeah, there's not really there's not Pokestops and stuff out where I work.
Well, look, you should see where I live. I had to walk 3 miles uphill both ways to get to a Pokestop. Jim, let's not even go there.
I used to have to walk uphill both ways to go to martial arts class.
Well, I'm guessing there's uphill on both. Like you go down a hill and up a hill both ways.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing. Oh yeah, I mean it makes sense.
I see what you did there.
But I actually get to say it because I did walk to school. It wasn't that far, but it's still through
some of my
every kind of fucking weather.
There's no such thing as bad weather, just inappropriate clothing. That was something I was brought up knowing.
Yeah, wearing socks and walking in the rain to school.
Only socks? That sounds cold.
I was saying, yeah, you should be wearing socks, but you should have shoes over them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wearing a sock. I was cosplaying as the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh God. So he's saying is wearing just a sock.
Yep. Ankle length.
Boy, there was a lot of extra space there, wasn't there?
And it was snug because it was it was a child's ankle sock.
I already beat you to it.
God. Stop it.
I mean, it's got to hug the balls to stay on. That's the key.
Stop it.
I don't want to use tape on my penis.
Stop.
Why? Ooh, gaffer tape.
Why?
Oh, yeah. I think I saw the inventor of gaffer tape died.
Yes, last week I think it was.
Yeah. But yeah, gaffer tape probably worked best.
I'm glad your homage to the inventor of gaffer tape is to talk about how you're taping a sock, not wanting to tape a sock to your genitals.
I mean, I class this show up. What can I say?
Do you?
I'm going to go with no.
There we go.
All right. Willie, what do you got for your news?
I'm going to steal Bachman's bit about talking about Anthem.
Ooh, we've got a bit thief.
I think I'm still playing Anthem. I'm not sure. Have I gone to bed yet?
You better be very careful about playing Anthem, apparently.
I was up very late. I played Anthem till like 4 in the morning.
Very careful. You better have protection while you're playing it. You put that sock on.
No,
but when you gave me, was it a demo? Is that what we played with it? Was that what they were calling it then?
You got invited to the demo VIP weekend.
Yes. I'm not sure if it was during that or the public one, But something happened to me that has apparently happened to a bunch of people since launch, and it happened to me personally. So I have some firsthand experience while playing Anthem. My console did a hard shutdown. Like the whole console just shut off, power off completely. That's the first time that has ever happened while playing a game, when the console's like, yeah, no, we ain't doing this.
It happened to Colin as well during the public weekend.
Did it brick
I know
it?
2 people that have happened to. No, it didn't do any damage.
Some people are getting their consoles bricked by this.
I was getting to the
I apologize.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Don't worry about it. Yeah, but I was very scared that I was doing something permanent, because this is my 4th PS4. I don't want to make a number 5 until I get, because I like the 4 PS4s. It's it's
so you'll have 5
symmetrical.
PS5s then.
I mean, one can hope.
Why would you hope that you have to buy a system 5 times?
So you would have had to have had 360 Xboxes then in the previous generation.
Whoa,
that's why I never. But luckily, you only need one Xbox
I know.
One.
That's what I was getting to.
I mean, look at the track record. There's probably some people that have had 360 Xbox 360s with that red ring.
Probably, actually.
But yeah, I just had it. God damn, what happened? I had it pulled up. What the fuck? So, news article from Kotaku, which you can take it or leave it with Kotaku. This is the UK version though, so I think it's a little bit.
Polygon has also confirmed the issue.
I mean, it happened to me.
Will they first person confirm it?
But the big news is that EA actually admitted there's a problem. That is big news. They've actually, we were aware of crashing issues. Some of you have been reporting. We're investigating. Ask that you share your crash data reports when prompted. Which is, people were saying this during the demo that was happening, and they're just now talking about it. When did this get released? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
So question for you, Willie.
It's 2 weeks old.
When it turned off your console, when you turned back on the console, did it give you an option to send a bug report? Or when it kills your console, is there no choice? So really, you can't send any bug info.
I can only speak of the PS4 because I've heard it has happened on the Xbox One, but it's just not as vocal as it been happening with people. I don't know if it has been happening as much. Don't know, but it did. You do not have an option. You have an option if it shuts down the application while it's still on. It will say, "Bloom, send crash report with picture." Yes. Or but with the hard shutdown, just nope. But it had to rebuild everything. Rebuild the hard drive and all that. And I had to make sure my external hard drive was working properly, and had to make sure that was good. So I was a little scared there. I was hoping it wasn't going to wipe everything from the external hard drive, which would just be game data, not like the actual applications of the game, not the save files. Thank you, cloud storage.
Yeah, no joke.
God, but who's missing memory cards? Because I know I'm not.
Oh no, not at all. They were the
I
worst.
could put a little memory card in the front of my PS4 that was 2 terabytes. That'd be kind of cool.
Well, I mean, just like game saves, like back on the PS1 and PS2. Thank you, Xbox, the original Xbox, for starting that whole thing. I would give credit with that. Where I don't need an extra memory card just to save a game.
That, and when you'd have like part of a game saved on one memory card and another part on another memory card, you'd have to swap back and forth.
I don't think it would let you do that.
Wait, what?
I remember
there was 2 separate save files, or like one game needing 2 save files to run.
I had 2 separate save files, if I remember correctly, for Final Fantasy VII on my PS2. I think it was PS2. I don't know. I just remember having
to PS1.
I remember having to swap memory cards.
I know you had to swap disc.
Yeah, I don't remember having to swap memory cards on anything.
Final Fantasy VII had 3 discs. Final Fantasy 8 and 9 both had 4 discs. So I think that might be what you're thinking about. But I mean, who remembers? But let's not forget about the GameCube with the Animal Crossing needing needing pretty much one whole memory card for the save. It took up the entire. In fact, the game came bundled with a memory card. But what's a little funny factoid about that game is you didn't even need the discs to play it. All it needed is the disc was to save and to open the game. Other than that, you could have opened up the lid, took out the game in the middle of the gameplay, and just keep on playing it. Because it was stored. Weird. Yeah. Because enough could be saved on the. I hope I'm saying this right, on the RAM. I hope that I'm using the right terminology here. I'm not a programmer. I don't know. Don't take me for my word.
Yeah, close enough.
But yeah, Anthem, fucking systems up, and EA is actually admitting to it. So, yay! It's progress, but they're still fucking up.
Well, there's a patch that's supposed to be coming out. I don't know if it has yet. That was supposed to begin addressing that. It was also going to fix the fact that they nerfed some of the weapon powers, or weapon levels rather, because I guess evidently at one point things were screwed up so that the rifle you get when you very first begin the game was more powerful than like some special custom level 50 weapons that people had gotten. Some crazy stuff like that, which I'm not taking a shot. That's just weird stuff that can happen when it comes to trying to scale game difficulty for people of different skill levels. But it's
I'll take that shot. I'll take that shot all day long.
Well, since I actually play it, and noticed that yesterday I did have a 3 gig patch after I logged in yesterday morning. They had talked about it on a live feed Friday with Ben Irving, one of the main programmers and main social people for the game that's been on Twitter and everybody responding to people. And yeah, they were talking about having it out. I want to say like they were aiming for the 12th, and then apparently they just said fuck it and got it done and put it out. So yeah, the patch is already out. They did a whole lot of changes. They made it to where once you hit max level 30, you no longer get commons and uncommons anymore. Excuse me. Because people were running like Grandmaster level 3 on dungeon runs, with 500 ranked javelins, like at max tier and at the hardest difficulty level, and they were still getting common and uncommon loot items sometimes. And so it was a bit ridiculous that those were still in the loot table. But yeah, so they made changes to that. They did, from what I saw, they also took out, there used to be guaranteed Masterworks on any Stronghold run, which that appears to be gone, because I did 2 Stronghold runs early in the week and got 2 Masterworks, and I did 2 or 3 Stronghold runs yesterday before I went and got dinner with a buddy, and I didn't see any Masterwork drops on easy. So they changed that and I think they actually took that part out. So there's more Masterworks in free play and the higher difficulty dungeons, but I believe they're actually gone from the easy play Strongholds. They changed the power levels on a bunch of the weapons, and they changed how a bunch of them actually are affected and how the elemental effects actually work to make most of them hit harder. And they actually changed some of the enemies to where they're actually easier to kill, because some of the Titans were really tough and had a long phase where you couldn't do any damage to them at all. And a lot of that has been altered either slightly or a lot. On the lesser Titans, it's been altered a lot where you can shoot them basically the whole time you're fighting them. But yeah, they did it. It was another huge patch. And this is like the 5th or 6th patch in 2 weeks. So they've done a couple of like live patches on the backsides of the servers where you didn't have to download anything. And then I believe this is version 3 of the game. So this is the third actual full patch that's been released since launch 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, yeah, it's a game that's only been out for 2 weeks, and it came out with a lot of problems. They addressed a lot of the stuff that was in the demo before the game even launched on the 15th, and then again on the 22nd for PlayStation. And they had a lot of that stuff cleared up, but they were still having the power down issues, the sound bug issues. They're lots and lots of issues. It's a huge, massive game, and you play it inside of a giant world with a whole bunch of moving parts, and 4 different javelins that can have, you have 6 component pieces, and then all of them have 2 weapons and then 3 pieces on top of that, and every one of those can be rank 1 up to like rank 57. So the variables involved with loading a ranger into the game with a full load of weapons and items is a hell of a lot of fucking variables and a lot of fucking, integers and algorithms to keep track of to make it all work. So they've done a lot of patching and a lot of updating. So Luckily, I haven't gotten my PlayStation shut off, so I'm real happy, and I still love it. I played till like 4 a.m. last night,
But the
and I
problem
was
with
having
this
a blast.
and all these other online looter shooters, it's all bullshit. These games are not ready when they launch them. You're paying full price for something that isn't ready, that they have to patch multiple times for it to be ready. Fallout 76, for instance, was a bad offender with this. Destiny 2, Destiny 1, all of these online looter shooters, they're not ready when they put them out. You've got to wait 6 to 8 months before the game is actually in the state closer to what it's supposed to be. And it's frustrating as hell, and I've just kind of decided I'm done with that. Fallout 76 was the breaking point for me. I was like, this is bullshit. This game, it sucks the way it is right now. And maybe 6 months from now, they'll have it locked down into something that's going to work better. And Anthem seems to be the same way. From what I'm reading from people who have been playing and have had similar experiences, I will fully admit I have not played since the demo, because I played the demo and went, okay, this isn't a game for me. But it sounds like, yet again, this is another case of a game that was delayed to put it out. Once they got it out, it still wasn't ready, and it's still screwing up.
It's having the glitches that I'm seeing are like normal big game glitches. I'm not seeing the stuff that's turning off my PlayStation, and none of the stuff I'm seeing is making the game unplayable or unfun. I've had the audio glitch; it's annoying. Yeah. You restart the app, and then everything's fine. And I had a glitch on the legendary weapon that was happening for 3 or 4 days, to where it was the algorithm for counting the shots on the magazine wasn't working. So it lost the bonus superpower of recharging your shields, because it would go into negative rounds when you were emptying the clip instead of actually emptying the clip and reloading. So, I mean, it's weird little stuff like that. But also, I mean, there are people that just apparently still haven't been able to play. And for them, like, they're a vocal minority. But from what I'm seeing on the plus and minuses of the responses on Twitter to the guys, the game devs talking about the game, this definitely isn't as bad as the Fallout 76 thing. It's just, there's always problems at game launch, because all companies now think it's okay to launch a game that's not 100% ready to go. I don't think this one's as bad as the Fallout 76 was, or like the No Man's Sky thing, because like that was one, like you said, I bought it 8 months after it came out and it was fantastic, but I didn't play it day one. Day one Anthem, I loved it. So
you guys did hear about the last Fallout 76 player, right?
The one that had the ammo that got banned. That one.
No. He's the last player. He's very happy he gets to play a single-player Fallout game again.
Yeah, I see what you're getting at.
Because he's the only one left.
Yeah, I did hear about that guy that gets banned. But I have a question for you, Bachman. Your friend, what kind of PlayStation 4 does he have? Just regular PlayStation? Or PS4 Pro?
I don't know if he has the regular or the Pro. I'd have to ask him.
Because I know it shut down my Pro, which is...
As I wonder if the shutdowns are more prominent on the pros or something. It is weird though, like because I've never heard of a game, no matter how glitchy a game is, how the fuck can it turn your system off? Because that's just some weird shit.
Anthem, the Kingslayer.
Well, the real scary thing is the fact that there are actually, and it's not huge numbers, but there's people that are playing and have Anthem turn off their console, and it has effectively bricked their console, and they can't get it to power back on. And the OS is corrupted and stuff like that. So there are problems out there, and a game should not do that. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, a game shouldn't be able to do that.
Well, I mean, also a game, if it's buggy enough to where it just turns off all sound and you have to restart the application just to get it to work right, that's something that should have been taken care of before launch. Well before launch.
Yeah, the audio bug is annoying.
The problem is there's a trend, and Anthony touched on this a little bit, of games aren't quite as polished at launch as they used to be back in the day, because they rely on the fact that, if this is screwed up, we'll just patch it because it's easy enough to get a system update out there, which is nice for us when there's bugs that are missed legitimately, versus, we don't have time to make sure this gets on the disc, so we'll do a day one patch of 20 gigs, and then a week from now when we have more stuff shake out, we'll do more patches. So we get spoiled when we get a game that does it well. Let's look at Marvel's Spider-Man on PS4. I mean, there was a patch, I think, on day one, but we were talking like megs, not gigs of data.
Yeah. Well, and now also, because I was talking to one of my Anthem friends online. We were running some dungeons yesterday, and he was saying the worry now is the worry that Chris was talking about when the Mass Effect game everybody thought wasn't very good, because apparently the A team was pulled off and put on Anthem, and now people are wondering if all the people that the really, the the super talented people that were working on Anthem have now been pulled off and working on Dragon Age, and so it's a handful of people left to patch the game. Because we have no idea what they're actually doing on the EA BioWare side.
They've got to treat that game differently than they did Mass Effect Andromeda. Mass Effect Andromeda was a single player game, not a massive online game. So you can't pull as many people off like they did on Andromeda when they basically gave up on Mass Effect, because all they did was keep people on hand to be able to do patches and multiplayer updates for the multiplayer. So there was no stuff done to add additional single player, things like that. For a game like Anthem, you don't have that choice of just leaving a skeleton crew, because you're trying to build a community similar to what you've seen in Destiny. Sorry, I was having a complete brain fart there. Similar to what you've seen in Destiny and other stuff like that. So if they were to pull a ton of people right now, which I don't believe they did, I think those are all just rumors, that would definitely be a bad sign that they don't see much faith in the future of Anthem. And they have put a lot of money into saying that Anthem is going to last and to be a moneymaker for them. So I think they're going to double down. They're eventually going to get these things ironed out. But the problem is, and I've said something similar before, is I honestly feel like BioWare sold their soul with this game a little bit, because this is not like the BioWare engrossing story kind of game like you've seen in almost all of their other games, where you get pulled into this great narrative. This is an online looter shooter that has some interesting story elements, evidently, but most of it is relayed in your codex. That's frustrating. That's not what I wanted. So maybe that's part of my distaste towards the game a little bit, is this isn't the BioWare game I wanted.
As in, I love it. Also, Willie, because Chris, did you play on the free weekend?
No, yes, I just played the demo.
Well, so the free weekend.
Okay. Yeah. Then I did.
Yeah. They also, I forgot to mention, in the patch, they added the greatest thing ever. Launch from anywhere within Tarsus. You no longer have to walk to your suit over and over and over again. Literally, when you log in, you can close the news window, and there's a pop-up on the left side of the screen now that says hold triangle to launch expedition. So you can literally just hold triangle from right where you log in, and bam, you're on the launch screen.
That's nice.
Yes, they added that.
Because that little hub town is useless. It doesn't need to be a thing.
Well, the patch, they did do another update to where it's building all that stuff up, and like everything in there keeps getting more and more. There's more and more changes to it as you go through the story mode, to where like that little area that you start in, all of that keeps evolving as you go through the game. So I actually like it because it's kind of cool. The world inside Fort Tarsus changes as you go through all the different storylines.
Man.
But yeah, I can see why some people don't like it. I fucking love it though. Like literally, I was up until 4:00 in the morning, and I was like, "Oh shit, I need to go take a nap before the podcast because it's fucking 5 a.m."
I think they'll get it ironed out so that a lot of the issues are taken care of. And if you like looter shooters and games like that, I think it's gonna be a good choice for you. But if that's not your kind of game you want to play, I don't think this really sucks you in. Which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just kind of sad at this point that Mass Effect died for this. Because, let's be honest, they're not going to do another Mass Effect game when Mass Effect Andromeda's sales numbers, in the UK at least, which is not necessarily analogous to worldwide, were better than Anthem's in the first month. Or first 2 weeks, rather. And have projected out better for the first month. Now, that's only physical game sales, doesn't account for digital, and digital has grown in the past 2 years, so maybe it's a bit of an over-exaggeration, but still, it's probably not necessarily a good sign. I don't know. I just want more Mass Effect, and I'm really bummed by the fact that I think they'll probably end up being the Dragon Age game because they're too far along down the development path to cancel it. But if Dragon Age doesn't do gangbusters, I don't think we're ever going back to the Mass Effect world.
Well, I'm already not going to buy it.
What, Dragon Age or Mass Effect?
Either or.
Oh, see, I know my fiance will buy Dragon Age. She loves that more than Mass Effect.
Now, hold on. If they come out with another Jade Empire,
there's a rumor.
We're talking now.
There's a rumor that they have renewed some patents and some trademarks around Jade Empire, so that they might be considering doing something with that. And Jade Empire is backwards compatible on Xbox One right now, so I'm gonna have to replay that.
Oh shit! I mean, I have my original Xbox over there with an HDMI cord attached to it. Yay! So I just have to. I had it at one time. I don't know where the fuck that game went. Maybe it's in a box.
Is that the one where you move around like the world on the bird's eye view map, but then you actually go in and fight like as a person? Is that the Jade Empire one, or am I thinking of a different one?
It's a third person,
It's
so
all
you're
third
always
person
behind
the
your
whole time.
person.
It's third person.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's
I have
third
no idea what
person
you're
fantasy
describing.
martial arts kind of stuff. I remember one character I had actually had like Wolverine claws, which was pretty cool.
Yarps.
Nice. I think I rented one of those, so I'm not sure.
Oh, it was a great game. I bought it in college.
I am sorry if for your Mass Effect loss, but I love my Anthem.
I don't care either way.
I might be the vocal minority, but I fucking love this game.
Well, that's just how the game world has shifted at this point in time. There's not a bunch of focus or want for engrossing single-player games because it's a one-time purchase or a one-time and then a couple things of DLC that you might sell versus online looter shooters where it's you can continually keep selling things to people after they make their initial purchase of the game. That's just how the industry shifted. It's the same reason Bethesda made Fallout 76 an online game, because they wanted the loot box money. It's the same reason loot boxes are in everything right now, which is why Marvel's Spider-Man was such an aberration, because it was, here's a good single-player game, and here's the DLC you can buy, and there's no microtransactions after that.
I'm sorry. Look at all the other first-party single-player Sony games over the last couple years.
Well, I haven't had a chance to play a lot of those yet, Willie, so I
God
can't
of
speak.
War, the game of the year.
I have played through. I have not finished God of War. I'm probably about a third of the way through it, 40% of the way through it.
Good though, isn't it?
It's really good, and they followed that same model of we don't want DLC. In fact, you said something at one point, Willie, that the director threatened that he was done if they decided they wanted to try and jam DLC into it.
Possibly, I don't remember.
There's something to that effect. I can't 100% remember, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I do remember something about that. Maybe. Oh, it's so hard in my head. That's amazing. That game didn't even have any DLC. Any add-ons they did, like New Game Plus, was just through what we were just talking about, updates.
Right.
But they added to the game with it for free.
Yes.
Like Spider-Man is doing, like they released 3 free costumes so far.
Let's see, the Raimi,
Batman,
the Future, Batman, and
Future Foundation.
I think it's only 3 ones they released, isn't it?
Yeah, I think 3 free ones since.
Or I guess on day 1 they released the ESU shirt. I think that was like technically free DLC. It was part of the day 1 patch. Or over the first week or something like that.
It's been 3 free suits post the game going out, not including the DLC suits that were included in the DLC.
Oh yeah.
Because there were 9 suits involved in the 3 DLC chapters.
Well, and those suits are only available if you buy the story DLC.
Yeah.
We're not talking about fucking Batman Arkham bullshit. Buy these suits. Well, what do I get with them? Suits.
Yeah, I never bought the skin packs from it. I did buy some of the DLC levels for Batman Arkham when they were on sale on one of the Xbox sales, so I could play them.
Oh, you haven't finished the game? No suit for you.
Willie's turned into the suit Nazi. We had the suit Nazi and Seinfeld, rather, and now we have the suit Nazi.
Can we stop saying Nazi? Jesus Christ.
Well, then quit being a Nazi.
Stop it with the N-word.
That is not the N-word.
I didn't even think about that before I said it. It makes me more funny.
All right, let's move on to the next story. Anthony, what do you got for us?
My news of the week was a tweet from Chris yesterday, or 2 days ago. Said, so Captain Marvel magically has more reviews in a day than Infinity War does in a year. And yeah, at the time, he'd put up the 2 images from Rotten Tomatoes showing Captain Marvel had a 81 tomato score of reviews counted of 253 for the actual critics, and a 37% audience score with user ratings of 58,931. While at the same time, like in Infinity War had an 85% tomato score with reviews of 421 and a 91% liked audience score with 52,966 reviews. So there was a Hollywood Reporter article about it saying, despite the site's attempt to subvert the trolls, 58,000 reviews were counted, with thousands of them later expunged. And they put, it appears the trolls have descended upon Captain Marvel. Disney film had only been in theaters for hours on Friday when the female-driven superhero picture was torpedoed online via Rotten Tomatoes. As of 8 a.m., the film had a 33% audience score with more than 58,000 reviews. So there's at least 57,970 pieces of shit out there that have nothing better to do than to try to fucking tank a movie score when they haven't actually seen the fucking film. Yeah, all of these people are awful. They're just disgusting. Let's see. They said as of 1 p.m., the number of reviews dropped to 7,000 with a score of 35%. They had actually re-added the ones that were prior to the movie going live, which they're not going to do from now on. So they made a mistake putting them all on there. But yeah, I actually was checking it again. Right now, the tomato score is 79% with 344 actual critic reviews counted. And the audience score is up to 55% with 44,523 reviews. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think those 44,000, I'll bet you half of those people actually went and saw the fucking movie.
And I'm going to be saying this too. This is all just going out to unless you really honestly just didn't like the movie and it's your really honest opinion without the stupid reasons that I still don't fully understand. If you really didn't like the movie and that's your opinion, that's okay. I can see people not liking it.
Yeah, that's totally fine. If you don't like a movie and you can talk intelligently about why you didn't like it and acknowledge parts of it that may have been good and not be like, it's all shit and blah, 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 that's fine. You can have a rational discussion with people like that. But when you're someone who's just like, Disney has an SJW agenda that I don't want to be a part of and blah, 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 so I'm going to review bomb it, that's dumb. We talked about it last week.
Chris, not everyone can talk good like you and I.
But I'm not saying you even have to be well-spoken. I'm saying more along the lines of if you can articulate why you don't like something in like a way that makes sense versus just repeating rhetoric that you've read online from other folks, that's okay.
And reviewing something you haven't seen just because you're apparently offended by the idea of a strong female, fuck you. Just fuck you. Like, all of those man babies need to go away. I wish someone would take their fucking internet from them because they just make me sad.
Here's where it gets fun.
This movie is fucking fun.
Despite all the trolls trying to review bomb it and things like that, it's trending towards somewhere between 150 to 160 million dollars this weekend.
Yeah, Willie, did you see the Fantasy Movie League? Somebody's in first place. Because I picked 2 Days of Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I chose No Days of Captain Marvel.
So Sailor Paul in the chat room.
You chose poorly.
It was a chance.
We've got a good point in the chat room, which was if the trolls actually paid to see movies and bought merch, I guarantee the mouse would be making stuff for their tastes as well.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, there's apparently about 50,000 of them, and all they do is bitch and complain on Twitter. And yeah, the upswing of the positive part of Captain Marvel and all the positive stuff I've seen online, and Brie Larson going to a theater and handing out popcorn to kids, and Kelly Sue DeConnick just basking in the glory of everybody loving what she did with this character is utterly fantastic. All the positive stuff I've seen in my Twitter feed so outweighs the negative that it's insane.
Most of the people I know that have seen it have either liked it a lot or said pretty much what Sailor Poland said in the chat room, which is perfectly adequate. It did what it needed to do. It wasn't great. It wasn't mind-bending, but it was an origin story. It did what it needed to do.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. From my understanding, I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm going this afternoon. The way people have described it, it's not like as mind-blowing as, say, Black Panther may have been when it came out, because they just did a bunch of stuff that was different.
Well, that was also that created, that added a whole world with Wakanda. And this is, the whole joke of this is that it takes place in the 90s. And so a lot of the fun of this movie is nostalgia. Like, literally, she lands in a blockbuster. Yeah, she wears grunge clothing.
And here's the other thing to consider on this. This is the first time in a while that Marvel's had to do a debut movie again without doing like a backdoor pilot or a backdoor connection in another series. Because remember, Black Panther's introduced in Civil War. The Return of Spider-Man introduced in Civil War. They haven't had to do an origin story movie since the last phase, really. So it's kind of a touchback to the older world. And I'm okay with that. I'm looking forward to seeing this movie. I've heard the post-credit scenes are good. I'm excited. Yeah. And while I don't think I'm going to come out and say, oh, it's the best movie ever, I think I'm going to come out and go, hey, it was a Marvel movie that scratched that itch for what I wanted, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah, and it's way funnier than you would think by the trailers. Like, there's a lot more comedy in it than I was expecting. The action's really well done, and the special effects are insane. The Marvel de-aging is possibly the best special effect I've ever seen. You don't even notice the fact that Samuel Jackson is 20 years younger in this movie. Like, it's fucking outrageous. And he has both eyes. It's so weird.
It's funnier than the trailer. What are you talking? Old lady punching. That's hilarious.
That's not just regular comedy, though. Like, there's actual good jokes, and there's actual, characters telling each other jokes that are meant for them to laugh about in the story, not just stuff that they're saying that we find funny as an audience. Like it has more humor. It has way more humor than a lot of action films. Like it's not Guardians level funny, but it is really well written. It is a good movie. And yeah, the special effects are fucking fantastic. And Jude Law kicks ass. Seeing him in an action film is really kind of cool.
Right, so if you haven't a chance, go and see it for yourself. With our normal show policy, we are not going to be reviewing the movie this week. However, next week, we will go in depth. We'll talk some spoilers on the movie, and we will be joined by the one and only Sailor Poland to have a discussion about Captain Marvel. So, hey, come join us next week and come hang out with Sailor Poland joining us. It'll be fun.
Cool. Hell yeah, and it's worth seeing on the big screen. It's worth seeing the biggest screen you can see it on. It's pretty.
Don't worry, next week we're going to be polishing our Polish.
Okay, then. So, hey, that wraps up the News of the Week segment of the show. This is that part of the show, where we like to remind you guys that, hey, we are part of a network of shows you can find over at GonnaGeek.com. There's 20-plus different shows in the network that cover a variety of topics. Spoiler alert, we have a new show that's going to be announced later this week, so that should be fun for folks, and we have a new addition to the family. And we'd love to tell you about all of the shows, we just don't have time. But what we can do is throw things to Willie to be like, hey, tell us about one of the shows in the network. What do you got for us this week, Mr. Willie D. Nelson?
Remember when I said I was going to plan? I didn't plan anything. So, I would like to promote. I like to toot my own horn a little bit.
Toot toot.
A little self-gratification. I like to ring my own bell. So, this week I'd like to talk to you about all things good and nerdy, part of the Gonna Geek Network. You can catch us every Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, or just catch it later in the week through whatever podcast means you want, or through video on YouTube. Chris, fill in that blank for the YouTube thing.
YouTube.com/GonnaGeek.
There he goes. I didn't say back to you, so please don't stop. It was a test. It was a test, and you failed. Yeah, you get a 1 out of. I don't even know. Joke's done. You know what? Just back to you, Chris. I gave what I got. It's not much, but it was passionate.
So you do a back to you. You don't do a back to you, Chris, but pointedly ask me a question and then tell me I'm wrong to answer said question.
He is a silly bastard.
It's a bit, Chris. Just let it go.
I'm confused here. I'm trying to understand how this works.
You were right and wrong to do what I said, Chris.
Bit lacking.
My head hurts. My head hurts a lot. So, like Willie said, you can go check out the network. Head on over to GonnaGeek.com/network and check out all of the shows that make up the Gonna Geek Network. That being said, it is time for us to start wrapping up this show. And how we do that was with a little segment called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and nerdy things we've been getting into, so that maybe, just maybe, you'll want to check them out yourself. I'll kick things off and say I've played more of the Terry Crews Explosion Simulator because I'm having fun with that. I've been watching a little bit more of Broadchurch when I go to the gym. That's my current gym watching. I don't know what I'm going to watch after that because I'm halfway through season 2, so I've only got like half the show left. And then what else have I been getting into?
Is it still good enough it's making you run extra?
No. The mystery in season 2, there's 2 different mysteries going on, one of which I don't care about as much as the other. So it's still good. It's just not as good as season 1. Their season 1 was very good.
It sounds like my love life. I just don't care enough about you.
Well, ladies, we're sorry for Willie. We're sorry.
I'm not.
No, we didn't figure you were. Let's see. What else am I getting into? I upgraded the memory card, the SD card rather, for my Switch, and came to the painful realization there's no good way to move around game files on the Switch. You can't like move something to the internal card and then move it over to another SD card. So what I had to do was remove the SD card, replace the SD card, and literally re-download everything that was on there from before. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. Now save games and stuff are all kept on the internal storage, so there was no concern there, and most of those are backed up on my cloud account. But yeah, so I had to re-download a bunch of games, and downloading games from the Nintendo eShop is super slow. So it took like all of an evening when I redocked it to re-download all the stuff that was on there.
That's Nintendo being backwards for you.
Yeah, it's just one of those things I kind of scratch my head and go, man, this is so much easier on like a PlayStation or an Xbox, because I'm just like, go in there and say, move this to this hard drive. Done. and then plug in a new hard drive and move everything to the new hard drive. Problem solved.
Yeah, Nintendo's take on technology as they move forward is like if you've seen Logan Lucky, it's those two brothers. One of them saying, "Yeah, I know everything to do with computers, all the Facebooks."
Yeah, sounds about right. But that's mostly what I've been getting into. There's been a bunch of other hectic stuff going on, so I haven't had a ton of free time, and hopefully have some of that this upcoming week. So fingers crossed for that. So Bachman, you go next. What are you getting into?
I kept the streak alive. So Captain Marvel was number 53 Marvel movies on opening day since Blade. So yeah, so that streak's never gonna die because I'm pretty sure Marvel's gonna keep making movies until I die. So I'm gonna end up having to see a lot of movies. But so far, I've enjoyed almost every minute of all of them. So yeah, this one was really good. And then I broke down and I got the Netflix turned back on my PlayStation. So one of the reasons I was up late playing Anthem last night was I didn't get up to start playing until like 10 o'clock because I watched all of Umbrella Academy yesterday. And damn, that's a fun show. Another comic book property turned into a different medium, and the acting on that show, the variations they made from the comic and the stuff that they changed, the dance sequences are fucking outrageous. Like, that show's just super fun and really, really weird and awkward, which really makes it feel in line with the comic book. Because Umbrella Academy was fucking weird and awkward. And yeah, the show is just as weird, just as awkward, super fun. And yeah, friggin' Robert Sheen is awesome. Once you get to the end and he actually, like, Klaus really gets his power under control, like, the changes that the character goes through the arc of the first season are utterly fantastic, and I can't wait for season 2. And yeah, now I need to watch I got Punisher season 2 to watch. I got Bird Box to watch. The last season of Ultron. I got a lot of Netflix to catch up on. And then yeah, played Anthem super late into the night last night. I'm up to level 28, so I'm 2 levels away from maxing out. And then I've unlocked all 4 of my javelins. I got to finish doing I'm going to do a Nova build for the Colossus, so I'll have a javelin skin for each one for a different new warrior. I have my Ranger based on Night Thrasher. I did a Storm based on Firestar. I did an Interceptor based on Speedball, and now I'm going to do a Colossus based on the classic blue and gold Nova outfit. So I'll have my 4 new warrior skins, and then I'm probably going to do like a set of, I don't know, maybe the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse or something. Whenever it's a set of 4, there's always fun things to do with it. But yeah, playing the hell out of that, and then I actually watched Hybrid Panda put up a video showing the new killer that's on the public test server on Dead by Daylight that looks pretty cool. The Plague. They have a killer now that runs around and pukes on people and has different puke powers that infects people and makes them sick. And then they end up vomiting in the game, and like it shows where you are. And it's a character that it's a killer that can, I can't remember which like ability it is in the game, but they end up tossing their the terror radius around the killer is how you know the killer's coming near you. A heartbeat gets louder and louder. This killer has the ability to move their terror radius onto the person they're attacking. So then the person that's running in front of them actually has the terror radius, which is a very strange concept, and like it'll be a big change to the way the games play, because I think it's going to change the meta a lot. But yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. I'm excited to see the Plague once it comes to the live servers. But yeah, I've been playing so much Anthem. I haven't played any Dead by Daylight.
Oh, and I forgot one thing I did, which is pre-order Pokemon Sword. Sorry, Willie.
Oh.
I'm a pre-orderer.
Got your pre-order in. Oh, that, and I'm on the 5th book. Yep, now we can hear you. I'm on the 5th book of the Galactic Football League series that I've been working on. So I'm almost done with that series. It's the last book, and it's really fucking weird, really, really incredibly strange how well this writer invented alien races that all also happen to play football really well for a book called the Galactic Football League. He did a good job inventing races that would have very specific abilities that would work really well in a football game with aliens versus aliens. It's a really fun book. And then I got the Scythe one to read after that, where it's a weird world my friend at work told me about, where like we cure death, and so the world starts becoming overpopulated, and so people get jobs as basically Grim Reapers. Which apparently that's a new book series. I guess there's 2 of them already, and the 3rd's coming out. I got the 1st book, so I'm looking forward to reading that once I finish the GFL ones, which will probably be sometime within the next 2 weeks. I don't know. First,
How do
you
I
think
get
you have
that
to
job? I
go.
want that job.
You have to go live in the world of the book, Willie. Yeah, that's what I'm getting into.
That's
Lots
fair.
of reading, lots of video games.
So, Willie, finish things up for us. What have you been getting into, sir?
Well, last Sunday, whenever it's after the board games, me and my friends, we started just looking up weird ass music videos, like good music into it, and just music videos that had some fun to it. Some I do want to call out is one band, Sunreal, or he's a rapper, I guess. I don't know the rap. That's my fault. I'm sorry, but he has a song, and the video for it's hilarious, and I just like the song too. It's called "Everywhere You Go" by Sunreal. It's Sunreal with no space. Another one we watched. We also looked up Little Big, which I think the best way I've heard them being described is the Russian Diant word. So that should tell you a little bit what they are. And then also, what was the other one? The other one, DJ Shadow. What is the name? Nobody Speak. That's a great video, hilarious video. I would highly recommend it. And the song's also really good too. And another one is Peking Duck. Peking Duck. Yeah, that's duck without a C in it. And the song is Say My Name.
Peking or Peking?
I think like the food.
Okay.
Peking
You mean like
Duck.
the city?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not cultured. Don't look at me like I'm the bad guy here.
All right, Duck Boy.
I'm just Howard the Duck Boy. I like it.
God.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I would recommend all those, but I would also like to say you would talk about Umbrella Academy. The best scene of all the whole show is in the first episode. It's the I think we're alone now. That whole scene.
The dance sequences on that show are fucking fantastic. I don't know who their dance choreographer is, because in that scene, and then when Space Boy and Rumor have their dance in the park, that sequence was fantastic. Like that was a fantastic dance sequence in the middle of a crazy drama action show.
But actually, my favorite part of it is when they actually started pulling away from Ellen Page in the center room, and started you see everyone else dancing in the whole room is like someone cut out like a model, like a little toy house with a doll house.
Like a dollhouse.
And you can see everyone in each of the rooms doing the dance, and that was the best part.
Yeah, that show was so good.
Robert Sheehan just dancing with the urn. That was hilarious.
That in
that skirt.
The way Ellen Page looks in the season finale, the way her character changes, the actual visual look they give her was so fucking cool. I was wondering how they were going to do that by comparison to the comics, and yeah, what they did looked really cool. Like I liked it.
And in saying this, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. It's just an observation. Like Ellen Page in the last couple of years, she went from looking 14 to looking like she's in her late 30s really fast.
She's just she's the world's tiniest Canadian. She just looked like a little kid for so long.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to get. She looked so young for so long. That's what I'm getting at. I'm not trying to say she looks bad now or anything. Well, I'm not saying that at all.
In the X-Men movies, she was 21, 22, and she looked 14.
I know. That's what I'm saying. She just looked so young for so long. It was good on you. And even in that movie Super. Oh God, Super. That one scene.
Yeah.
Poor Dwight.
Oh, I thought that scene was pretty cool.
That says something about you.
I really like Ellen Page.
I mean, but that was still wrong.
Yeah, you can't rape the willing.
Was that Will?
Only in reference to that scene.
Moving forward, Chris. Bad on you. You should never pre-order a game. Haven't you learned your lesson? Mass Effect.
You could have said Fallout 76 and been far more effective.
Fallout 76. Haven't you learned your lesson, Chris?
Yeah, but that's not Nintendo. I refer you back to the opening part of the show. I said, tell me where there's a Nintendo game that's let me down with a pre-order.
Chris.
Willie.
No exceptions to this. We need to group together.
Nintendo is an exception.
We need to group together as gamers.
But see, Willie,
say,
here's the
fuck
thing.
off,
When
GameStop
when
with
I
the pre-order bullshit.
When I can buy a game on Amazon for cheaper than it's supposed to be retail, like Pokemon, which will not drop in price for probably years, I'm going to do it because I'm going to play Pokemon, and the Pokemon game is probably going to be good.
Chris, don't
Willie.
you come at me with your good reasons and just discredit what I'm saying
And
Just
your
go with
logic.
it. Yeah, get away with that bullshit.
Willie,
How
you should have
dare
just
you,
said
sir.
this, and it would have ended it.
You shall not pass.
Sorry, I hit the button too early.
I'm
Yep.
waiting for the second half of that.
Nope,
Second half?
no
What
second half. No second half.
Man, you guys could suck my tank.
Nope.
It's quite tasty this time of year.
uh,
I had my yearly bath.
oh God.
Because he showers the rest of the year, right?
No. Yearly
He just
bath.
doesn't
Like,
bathe.
no. It tastes better because I get to stew in my own juices for like 4 hours. So it like marinates it all together.
Gross.
Why?
Don't worry. The hair just clumps. It gets all the tangles out of the hair, so it's not all matted.
Gross.
So it's even
Knock
better.
it off. Stop.
It's like angel hair.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Nobody wants it. Stop it.
And I've also last week I said I watched Creed and was very emotional during it. I didn't even realize Creed 2 was coming out on video last Tuesday. So I went ahead and picked that up. And I wasn't as emotional because I think I was just in a weird spot that day, possibly. But yeah, Creed 2 was actually pretty damn good, I would have to say. Would enjoy it. I mean, I did enjoy. You know what I'm saying. I also got Ralph Breaks Internet, but I have yet to watch that one yet.
You haven't seen that yet either.
And I think I watched with some family members last night. Here Comes the Boom, and that's still a great movie.
That's a funny one.
Oh my God, Selma Hayek. Oh my God.
Yeah, she's great and everything.
I'm still thinking about Selma Hayek. I don't want to hear your voice through her mouth.
Better.
Well, too bad, Chuck.
And I think I just filled the cup. That's a Jay and Silent Bob reference if you get it. Oh, sorry, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back reference.
They're working on the reboot right now, evidently.
Yes, they are. They have started filming.
I've heard that so much. I'll believe it when I see the fucking trailer. No offense. I really want it, but I've been hearing this for years, multiple years, and I've yet to see anything tangible.
No, you heard for multiple years that he was working on Mallrats 2, and then he was working on a series,
Clerks 3.
Clerks 3, but none of those ever actually started filming. This show has started filming.
I don't know that. I haven't seen anything of it.
Well,
I mean, like literally, I haven't seen any of the footage. Is what I mean.
Look
not
on
news.
No, look on social media. He's posted shots from the set of them in Brody's store. Jason Lee is Brody. They're in the comic shop. There's a Stan Lee wall with one of his game-worn sweaters on it that's gorgeous, and they had a photo of all of them standing in front of it in gear, like and Kevin in Silent Bob gear.
And there's one thing I hope they just acknowledge in this movie, because they didn't do it for Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, is I want them to acknowledge the time Brody was the host for the Tonight Show. They need to acknowledge that, because they didn't go back to it. In my fan fiction, I touched on it.
Where can I go read this fan fiction?
It is not posted. I think I think the notebook's somewhere here, and probably a box somewhere, like everything
Where'd you
else.
post it, fanfiction? You should post on fanfiction.net or something.
I did not type it out. I only wrote it out in a notebook. And it's only maybe 4 pages, 5 pages in. Maybe a little more than that. I started it. I had an idea.
It's written in drunken crayon. It's not going online.
Orange gel pen, actually.
Close enough.
Yeah. I was a weird kid, not going to lie.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. However people want to have fun in ways that don't harm other people, who cares?
Well, kid, 1920.
Kid. Enough. You're basically a kid at 1920.
Yeah.
You just don't realize as you are.
Careful with that with some of my relationships I've had in the past couple years.
My apologies, Willie. I did not
We don't need to be careful.
That.
You need to be careful.
Oh, I was. I pulled out.
Oh, God damn it. Well, thank you, Willie, for sharing what you've been into and evidently who you've been into. That's going to wrap up this segment of the show. And a friendly reminder, we do stream this live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over on geeks.live. That is the official streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. If you want to watch more live content, just head on over to geeks.live, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and you can see the calendar of live events. As we record this live today on March 10th, I would like to let folks know that at 1 p.m. today is a episode of Better Podcasting that will be streaming live. They are in the 1 p.m. time slot today, so feel free to hang around for the next 40 minutes or so if you want to catch Better Podcasting. You guys have any final thoughts as we shut this thing down?
Make sure you change your clock so you're not late for work tomorrow.
I want to acknowledge something Sailor Pullen said. He guesses that I use Rogaine down there, in my taint area. And the only thing I gotta say is, you see this? You see all this chest hair right here? My happy trail starts up here and it ends at my toes.
Thankfully, your internet sucks, and so no, we don't really see all the hair.
So, Willie, what you're saying is you are a Sasquatch.
Yes.
That's what I thought. Willie is Bigfoot. We're going to sell pictures of you on the internet and say you're the real Bigfoot and see what.
Unless we're talking about my metaphorical foot.
That's what, a 56 or something like that, or 57? I can't
56.
remember.
Get it? I told you the answer. I gave you the answer, and you just throw it out like it's nothing.
That's because it is nothing, because we don't have metaphorical feet.
That's why you got a bigger dick than me.
You said it, not me.
I did. It came out of my mouth, didn't it?
Well, on that note, we're going to shut things down because I'm afraid of where this conversation might go. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please come back next week as we discuss Captain Marvel. Bye, guys.
Ooh, a Chris hair. Yeah.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.